Hello all. It's our TED class. It's this TED class about paradoxes at all and about the video, the paradox of choice. We have a whiteboard with questions, with some vocabulary, with some notes from teacher Lee. I share the link in our chat. And let's start from the video, just for beginning. Leila, did you watch it?
To tell you the truth, I watched it only once because I didn't have a lot of time, but I got the general idea.
Yes, can you retold it? Or Gerard or someone else who want?
I used to be a literature student, and I thought that when I saw the word paradox the first time, I remembered, those days. And then I read some explanations, and I read Lee's comments. And then what I have understood from the video is the effects of the increasing amount of choice we have in today's world leads us to feel dissatisfied and unhappy. I mean, I just simplified everything, but this is my message, what I have understood. Variety of choices doesn't help us. So
Yes.
it creates a paradox.
Yes, I think everyone watched the video, so it's not a problem, and it's a good retold, as I see. And someone agree or disagree? Who want to start? Vasant, maybe.
Hello? Okay. I disagree with the video. I don't think that because we have many choices, we are going to be more dissatisfied. Because that would mean that if you live in a dictatorship, that everybody has to do the same, everybody would be happier, and I don't think so. That's right. It would be very sad. That was right. We can think. We like to choose. We like to enjoy our freedom. And for me, I can compare. When I was a child, I couldn't do many things in my free time. Only watching TV and reading. And nowadays at home, I can do many things. I can use my computer. I can play video games. I can watch TV series. I can work out. Many things, and I think that's better.
Okay. Someone else?
The problem is too much choice. Some choice is good, but too much choice, every decision you make becomes difficult, time consuming. You have to compare A to B to C to D to X to Y to Z, and it's like, it'll take me 2 hours to look at all these and compare. Just give me 3, small, medium, or large. That's the point of the video.
And I agree with this video. I like when I have not so huge amount of of choices, because I have an example. When 10 years ago, when movies came to me on CD, I have only few CDs, and I always watched the movies because I can simply choose what to watch. Nowadays, I can't watch anything from internet, and most of the time I don't watch anything because I just don't want to choose something for this evening, and so it's definitely work with me.
Plus, what I find is, like my cable TV, I've got 500 channels I can pick from. To see what's on 500 channels, I've got to look at each channel one by one by one. Most of the channels I don't want to watch. So I end up picking 5 or 6 that show movies. I make them my favorite, and I use those 5 channels, and that's all I look at. I don't look at the other 455, 95 channels, because it's just too many to go through. It's too time consuming.
Gerard.
One thing that the speaker points out is that if we take a choice, because we have many choices, we would be disappointed because we could have choose a better choice, something better. So I don't share this feeling of being disappointed because if I had done that, it would have been better. If I had married this other woman, I would be happier. That's stupid. We should accept what we have chosen. We cannot be always dissatisfied because we could have choose something better, because always there is something better and something worse.
Vasant, please.
Yeah, I would like to talk about Peter Lee's example. Like his TV has 500 channels. No matter how much options we have, the problem is when we get to know that much options are available. What if the TV has not auto-tuned? It has only 5 channels. The problem starts with when we get to know there are 500 channels are available. That is the problem. It depends on humans' mindset.
But speaking about TV, I have the same problem. Too much channels. I watch only few of them, and I check it. And if there is nothing worse, I just switch it off. But the fact that there is more channels that I can watch it make me nervous. And I'm watching some movie, but I think, what if I miss something better? And I think it's a point of this video. It's a point about what makes us sad, what makes us disappointed. We think that other choices may be better than one which we choose, already. Diana.
Yeah, that's very interesting what you just said. I think that the reason for our, not being satisfied with too many choices actually lies in the fact that we need to take responsibility ourselves. When you have no choice or just a very limited choices, the responsibility is shifted to someone else. That's their fault that I'm not satisfied. But when you have too many choices, the responsibility for choosing the perfect thing is on you. That's what makes us not so happy. And that in this, I agree with the speaker just because of that. Yeah, he says that example with jeans. Exactly. So just one type of jeans was perfect. It was jeans, so nice. And now I can't. That's the same experience here. I cannot find the perfect jeans just for me now because there are too many choices.
Yes, I agree. Leila, would you like to add something?
No, I just listened to my friends, and I'm trying to make up my mind about something. Then I will talk.
Okay, so once more time, if if we don't allow you to talk something, just write in chat, and we figure it out. Okay, so we can start from our questions, or we can continue about this video. Anyone, what we should do? We have only few questions. 2 of them from Teacher Lee and 1 from me. That's all. And
my paradoxes.
But we have a lot of paradoxes, and we can. I see that almost everyone agree with the speaker. Only Gerard is opposite to us. So will we try to reassure him, to convince him?
No way.
No way, because I don't feel dissatisfied with my choices. I know I bought a car 1 year ago. I know there must be better cars, but I'm content with my car. Why I should be disappointed and unhappy with that?
But what about if somewhere exists a better car for same money and you just
No problem. No problem. Yes, so that happens many times. You buy a thing and then 1 month later is in a bargain and it's cheaper. But I'm not disappointed because when I bought, I wanted to do so, no problem.
Okay, so you just have a mental discipline. You just say,
Yeah.
I make it. I do the best choices. I did the best choice. Okay, it's a good. Leila,
No,
would you
no.
like to-
No,
Not the best choice. Not the best choice. I'm upset by what I do, what I choose. I'm upset.
Okay.
Ivan, I was going to say that. Don't try. There's no point in trying to persuade him. He is my friend. He has been my friend for some years. He's so logical. He knows what he wants. So we can't change his mind.
Well, I don't think that I can persuade him, but I can try, and I will try and I will try in English, and I.
Yeah, go on, Ivan.
So I tried to write an anecdote about about choices in our TED group, and it's about limited choice. So it's about person who can only two options: one be at work, and second one be on sky. Make some skiing, and he hurt himself and still thinks that and still be happy because it's better than be on the work. So it's how limited choice help him to be better, to be happy. And I like this example.
But where is the paradox here?
It's paradox of choice.
Paradox of choice. Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes. So look at this man. He lost his leg. He lost his teeth, and he's still happy because he has a limited choice.
Do you think he's happy because he had limited choice?
Yeah,
I think he's just crazy, you know. That's why he's happy.
Well, maybe he's an English teacher and his students not so good.
Sure.
So it explains everything.
Absolutely.
So Gerard, it doesn't help, right?
So people in jail must be happier because they don't have many choices.
Well, yes, good point. Many people write book in the jail because they have a lot of free time. Some people became to be religious and they are happy.
Yeah. And they get education in prison as well. In some prisons, not in every not in every reason, not in every country, you know. Yeah. There is also good choice, you know. You should be very choosy in order to commit a crime in the perfect country for being a prisoner, you know. So you should think more than twice, probably. So still too many choices.
Okay, let me read my questions which I prepared to this class, and I still I want to remind you that it's a good idea to write your questions before the class because everyone can think about it in advance. So my questions is: do you think that arranged marriages, I don't know how to pronounce it right, marriages make people marriages? Do you think that arranged marriages make people happy?
Happier compared to what?
Compared to people who trying to find the best the best girl for all his life.
Okay. We should ask Gerard.
Okay,
I don't know. I'm not married.
Yeah.
An arranged marriage happens in Asia a lot. The parents decide who you will marry. A lot of times in medieval Europe, two kings would decide that their daughters or their children were going to marry to unite the two kingdoms. So an arranged marriage is when your parent tells you who you will marry. So he's saying, is that good, or would you be better making your own choice who you want to marry?
Vasant must know something about that.
Let's start from Leila.
It happens a lot.
Iwan, this issue is really important in my country because in some villages it is still the same. People arrange marriages for their daughters, especially for their daughters. Even if the daughters don't want, they can't say anything. And it is a pity, and what I'm thinking is that arranged marriages are not good. But if the person wants to marry for the sake of getting married, I can't say anything. Yes, Lee, you're right. And you know what? They have got money instead of just letting their daughter get married to the guy. It's a shame.
So the answer is no, they are not happy.
Of course, they're not happy. This is not having a limited choice. They haven't got a choice at all.
Good point, yes. So there is no choice at all. Vasant, please tell us something.
Yes.
Yeah, arranged marriage happens a lot in India too. So you might have heard recently about honor killings in India and Pakistan. A lot of Asian countries, it happens a lot. So yeah, Gerard making a good point. It's dowry. There's a lot of things happen here.
So does it make people happier?
No, not exactly happier. They're still thinking they could have made a better choice by themselves. Everybody
Okay,
thinks
I think that Leila and Vasant look from one side of coin, and I look from another. I don't have a arranged marriage, and I always ask myself, did I do it right or not?
I hope your wife cannot hear you.
And I would like that someone else have responsibility for that. I can blame my father why you choose me that girl, not better one. So it's another side of coins.
Yeah, that's the paradox. A person who can choose thinks that probably arranged marriage is better, and the people that who knows what it is not to choose think that it is not right and not. So, yeah, that's another paradox we've just made up.
Yes, Leila, please.
Oh, my friend, as Lee has mentioned, some Turkish villages still have arranged marriages, and he go on writing. Usually, goal is for money rather than love. The daughter's father wants money, and for the groom, it doesn't matter because he can get married more than once.
Okay. Vasant, I'm not sure what is C in our chat. It's comment, what?
Yeah, it's comment. It's about the arranged marriage and love marriage thing. I want to say the only sentence, the grass is always greener than the other side.
Okay.
It applies to both of them.
It's okay, just for record. I'm happy with my wife. I told this just for conversation, you know.
Yeah, yes, I knew that.
I have one question for Leila.
Yes, my friend.
Can a man have several spouses in Turkey?
Oh, no. There are the secular people like us, and we'll just lead a different way, you know. But there are some men, unfortunately, who are against the Turkish law and get married more than once.
Okay.
So, but this is illegal.
This is illegal, but they don't. I can say that it violates the law, and they are happy because they say they don't recognize the law here.
Okay. But there is no consequences, right? For them.
This is a kind of silent war.
Okay.
Diana, would you like to add something about this question?
No, it's just interesting. So this is against the law, but law does not care actually, right? So people are, I think that they're just living together, right? One wife is like a legal wife, and the rest are just like the support, the group of support, right? Something like that. So they're not legal, and they have no, I don't know.
But I heard that that happens in Russia too, in some regions when the religious is different, so it's the same thing. You have an official wife and support team, and no official relation between them. So.
Yeah.
Mistress, right?
So let's go on from this question before it's it's going unsafe.
Layla had a comment.
No, I was going to say divorce is not illegal, Lee. The thing is that if you get married to somebody through a religious ceremony, then you can have the divorce anytime. You don't have to go to the court. But as a family, for example, my family, every time prefers to lead the legal way. So we have got the legal ways, we've got legal ceremonies, and if you want to have a divorce, then you can go to the court.
Well, you just said a man could not marry more than once.
According to the law.
So if you divorce, you can never marry again?
No. You can go ahead, as many as you want. I mean, you can have the divorce 2 years, I think, or 1 year. Later, you can get married again. So you have got unlimited choices here.
Okay, I'm confused. We'll talk about it later.
I explain. We were talking about the Quran allows to marry with up to 4 women at the same time.
Yeah, but it is illegal. It is illegal according to Turkish law. So the multiple marriage is illegal. But if you are divorced, you can remarry. So.
Yes, that's it.
So you can change official wife and support team from.
Sure. Support team are just cannot leave you.
Okay, let's go to next questions. I'm thinking that it's this conversation going to unsafe point. So.
Okay, facilitator, you think it is unsafe? Okay.
Wasans, can you read please the questions from teacher Lee?
Yeah, sure. How many choices of breakfast cereals would you prefer, 5 or 20? In a grocery store, one whole aisle may be nothing but cereals. Discuss some adverse economic consequences of too many choices. I mean, actually, I'm not sure I'm emphasizing the word cereals correctly.
Don't ask me.
Cereals.
Cereal, okay. Because we do not use, it's a new term for me. We do not even eat cereal. Oh, cereal.
Okay, change it to something else. What do you have for breakfast in India?
Breakfast in India. What about noodles?
20 types of noodles? Interesting.
Okay, what is the answer? Would you like a 5 or 20 these things?
I usually skip my breakfast, but I prefer 5.
Gerard, what about you?
I like having 20. So I can.
Greedy Gerard.
Yes, I only want 1 though, but I can choose. I like to enjoy my freedom of choosing.
Wow.
But imagine that you had 100 feet of shelves, 100 meters or 30 meters of shelves. That's nothing but cereals, different kinds of cereals. Chocolate, strawberry, raspberry, cherry, sweet, unsweet, nuts, fruits, just 100 cereals to choose from. And your kid says, "Daddy, I want some cereal." Which one do you pick? There's just so many choices. One entire aisle, 30 meters of shelf space is just cereal. One food item, cereal. So my question is, what's the adverse consequences economically of having so many choices just for one food item? Is that good or is that bad?
For me, it's obviously bad because the producers of these cereals have to do something to be cheaper, to be, I don't know, to distinguish themselves from others, and it's not always the safe way to do that. And for first questions, how many choices I have for breakfast? I'm a married man, so my work just shut up, and
Yeah, that's good.
not my problem. Gerard, please.
I think the best consequence is that some of these products won't be bought anybody or in a small quantity, so they will be spoiled. So that's the problem.
Yes, that will be spoiled. Nobody takes the money. Some producer have problem, and it's go again. So it's for economics.
Well, another point. So actually, the problem with too many choice, that I think what Teacher Lee wanted to underline, that now it is very inconvenient to spend so much time on choice in those supermarkets when you have the variety of goods displayed. Yeah, so you just don't have time, and you get upset because of that. Yeah, especially with kids, when you get into the supermarket with children and they don't know what they want. Yeah, and they start to pick and choose from that. So actually I prefer go into the supermarket with a list of items I want to buy. So if you make up your mind beforehand, it is much easier, of course. But sometimes, especially when you're hungry, so, well, my advice, never go to the supermarket when you're hungry. You'll buy a lot of stuff you don't really need. Yeah, so, but it is time consuming. It is frustrating, actually, to have too many choice.
So Leila, you solve it by diet, right?
Oh
No
my dear
eating.
friend, yes, I'm on a diet, but the thing is that I love eating a piece of cake and drinking tea in the mornings. That's all. I'm an easy person.
Okay, how many sorts of tea do you have?
Sorry?
How many different tea you have?
No Turkish tea. I prefer Turkish tea.
So only one.
Only one.
Okay.
Do you grow tea in Turkey?
Yes, my friend.
Okay.
In the north part.
Okay.
North coast, right.
Okay. So I should cross the Black Sea and you will just
No, I will
show
send
me.
you somewhere.
So, okay.
So let's move on. I think it's a very clear thing here. Only Gerard have opposites.
Yes.
Yes.
The minority in our midst.
Yeah, so let's ask him about his favorite paradox. Gerard, what you bring to us today?
Yes, one paradox called Achilles and the Tortugas. If you do, okay, I don't know if we should the link. Well, I don't know how I'm going to explain this paradox. There is a race between Achilles and the tortoise, and both of them run in a constant speed. The tortoise has an advantage. We can say 100 meters. And we take when Achilles reaches the point of the tortoise advances a little more. And then again, you look at the position that at this time the tortoise reached, and then the tortoise is always being in front of Achilles. You know, the time is reducing. It's a wrong way of watching it. With the graphic, it would be easier to understand that. So because we only count, we only watch the time that Achilles reach when the tortoise go advance. I don't know how to explain. Do you have the graphic?
Yes, but we can see the picture, and I think many people know this paradox already. So teacher Liu write us the description of that. But for me, this paradox it's good for ancient Greeks, but not for modern time, because now we know about that our space is a discrete. We have an atom, we have molecule, so we cannot divide the distance infinitely. Sometimes it will be a chunk which we cannot divide. So you can trust me. Sometime Achilles will get this turtle.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes, but it's a good paradox for ancient Greeks, I think.
I'd like to bring up the chicken and the egg because I find that to be fascinating. Do you understand the chicken and the egg paradox?
Yeah. Well, I don't know whether I understand it, but I know this paradox from the kindergarten, I guess.
Okay, a chicken comes from an egg,
right.
But the egg comes from the chicken. So how did the first chicken in the world come into existence? How did it get here? We don't. What's the answer? I don't know.
Nobody knows, right?
Yes,
Evolution. Evolution.
Let's ask Vasans. Vasans, who was first?
I hope it's chicken first, due to Darwin's theory.
Yes, and we miss Irina in our chat because we need a doctor here and someone who explain. But what I heard that the egg cannot mutate. The egg is egg of chicken already. But chicken, when it was another bird before, can mutate during their life. So I think the first was a chicken. Leila, what do you think?
I don't know. I can make up a story. Yeah, Adam and Eve were walking one day, and suddenly Eve found an egg. Here is the chicken.
One morning, one crazy chicken decided that she wants to lay an egg. Yeah, and then...
I don't know. No.
So it's very simple. It's just a miracle, right?
Wow.
Right.
Perhaps.
Yes, let's explain it like this. Yes, it was just a miracle. It just happened all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think the egg came from the Easter bunny.
Ah, it's a great answer.
Yeah.
Okay, Leila, do you bring us some paradox? What you like?
My dear friend, I just
No.
no. I just copy pasted there a kind of notice, a kind of poster. I want to meet new people, but something like that. But my life is a paradox. That's why I don't want to say anything about it because there are lots of things I want to do, but I can't. So what I'm thinking is that my life is a paradox nowadays. You know why? Because there are lots of things are happening in my life, in the world, in my country. So I don't want to talk about these things. I prefer listening to you and just smile. Okay?
Okay, sure. Vasant, please.
Yeah, I want to talk about a paradox. Teacher Lee has mentioned this once. I do not have a job because I have no experience, and I have no experience because I do not have a job. That's my favorite one.
Yes, it's very good, and the most interesting thing for me in this paradox that everyone solve it in some way. So people start to work anyway, and how you solve it, Vasant?
Oh, sorry, actually, could you please tell me
Yes.
again?
So as I understand, you have a job, so you already solved this paradox. Tell us how.
Yes.
Just start with the low level. That's it. Don't expect to be a high level. Just start from the beginning and learn everything from there, and just improve yourself to be the next level.
That's the solution, I guess. You should just get any job and then start from there. So, and then,
We had an interesting paradox back in 2008 or so. We had a real estate bubble burst, and many people were out of work. So when the recovery started, the employers would only hire people if you already had a job. So no one that did not have a job could get a job. And the employer's reasoning was, if you have a job already, then they can hire you from that job. But if you don't have a job, they figure, well, if you don't have a job, maybe nobody wants you, so you're a bad employee. So if you don't have a job, I'm not going to hire you. But if you have a job, you must be a good employee, so I'll hire you from that other company and give you a job here. So that became a paradox. You had to have a job to get a job, a different job.
right, right. And I can understand the reasoning. Yeah.
This paradox works always in Spain. Yes, I think it's unfair because sometimes the circumstances can be bad and you can lose your job. And some useless people have a job, so doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
But I don't think it's about Spain. I think it's about human society. It's about any country. I
Yes.
see the same here.
Right.
So let's go on. Who else? Diana.
Yep.
We know
So-
one about woman and forest.
Sure, sure. You knew. Yeah, yesterday probably you discussed that without me. Oh my goodness. I was so sorry that I missed my favorite talk. Yeah. But the one I remember from school is this very, very, okay, I don't know. A lot of people know that, I guess. So I'm the wisest man alive, for I know one thing. And that is that I know nothing. So that's the paradox I liked at school a lot. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly. Probably it was Plato, and
No,
he
Socrates.
circles. Yeah. I mean another like paradox. The circle of knowledge. Do you remember that from philosophy class? I just remember something about that. So the circle of knowledge, when you reach like the limits of the the much bigger circle opens to you. When you reach the limits of the second circle, the much bigger circle opens in front of you. So actually, you can never know. You can never learn. You can never learn what you really. Okay, how to say that? You're not able to reach the circle that you know that you can. I'm sorry. My little one is just trying to make her choice, so I need to help her with the choice. Okay, just a moment. I'll be back in a moment.
Layla, please.
So I love it. I know one thing that I know nothing. This is a kind of motto for me, you know. That's why every time, wherever I am or whatever the other people are talking, I listen to them carefully in case I can learn something new. Because this is the truth for me. You know, every day I can learn something. This is what I'm thinking. So this paradox is great for me. What do you think, Yuan?
I don't understand really why it's paradox. It's just it's just a truth for me.
I know one thing, but
Yes.
on the other hand, there is nothing.
It's about I think it's about human languages. We just express our thoughts in a clear way. So if you rewrite it in math terms, it will be okay. or in terms of formal logic. So it's paradox only because we formulate it in our language. I think. So it's a pun. It's a more pun for me than paradox. Gerard, please.
Actually, teacher Lee explained yesterday that the Socratic method of asking questions. So Socrates says, "Oh, I don't know anything," but he asks questions until he reaches the good answers.
Yes, it's good.
I've listed one thing in chat. One paradox that we often think about is the universe. How big is the universe? If it's finite, if it has a limit, then what's on the other side of the limit? Nothing. If it doesn't have a limit, how can it go on forever and ever and ever and ever? So how big is the universe? We don't know. But it's getting bigger. We know it's getting bigger, right? It's expanding. Another paradox, I don't want to get into religion, but another paradox is how did we get here? If God said, poof, and we're here, well, where did God come from? Who said, poof, here's a God? So which came first, the God or the other, or the universe? You know, so it's a paradox. We may never know the answer.
Okay, I prefer to stay on first one. Vasant, please.
I think Gerard typed it first.
Okay, yes, I wanted to say about the universe. Another paradox is did the universe start in some point, or has it always existed? Because if the universe started for one point, did the universe start for nothing? That's a paradox. I think it's something unthinkable. From nothing coming something such big like the universe.
Yes, it's a good one. Vasant?
I think we just cannot comprehend, unlimitedness, because everything has an end in our life. So our consciousness also cannot think about some endless things. You know, we cannot just comprehend this notion.
Okay, Vasant, please.
Actually, I don't know. Have anyone of you watched Wanted movie, which featured Angelina Jolie? Because I have a concept in that movie. Because once in that movie, Morgan Freeman said, "What if someone has not told you that a bullet from a gun cannot, how to say, it can possibly travel in a circle way. Because the point is, humans are not capable of learning those things. We are just captivated in our humanized things, so we cannot think beyond that level. We are just imprisoned in our humanized things. That's it.
We have a limit of our consciousness, or how would say.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Okay. And what we discussed, it's recall me my favorite paradox about the tree falling in the forest and nobody heard it, and we discussed it already. And I think it's pretty close to the previous questions about universe. It's about our perception. It's about does the thing just happen, or they happen only if we can see that, hear that, understand that, and write that. So, what mean does the university exist forever? Yes, for humans, it exists forever because we are inside the universe. I can formulate these questions another. If university exists for whom?
My mind will explode right now, you know, just you are talking about so difficult things.
Another paradox is time travel.
Yeah, it's a good one.
If we learn to travel in time, can I go into the past and meet myself? Can there be two of me in the same time period from different times? Is that possible? If I go back into the past and kill myself, do I die in the future? So time is very confusing also. Many movies have time paradoxes.
I like this type of paradox in the movie when you just go back in time and give yourself the time machine, so you actually can. You cannot. There is no need for you to invent it actually. So because you have it from the future self.
Yes, and I know that at least two of us, me and Gerard, we are fan of series, and there is a the Big Bang theory, and one episode was about time travelers, and they invent the past perfect tense in English just to explain.
The special tense to explain that, right?
Yes, I had already met them. That's all. Yes, Big Bang theory. So today we have a lot of vocabulary from Teacher Lee in the notes of Teacher Lee, and I think it's good for us to take a look on that. Teacher Lee, what do you think?
Mainly, just do you have any questions about what that means? For example, deeply embedded in the water supply. That's a metaphor. In America, in your country, we all drink from the same water supply. So if I put something in the water supply, everyone is affected in society. So when it's in the water supply, that means pretty much everyone accepts it or everyone believes it. So trying to change someone's mind in that metaphor would be very difficult.
Good one. So we need an example.
I forgot what that phrase was referring to. But I think the idea that we need to teach people jobs or teach people subjects in school to get a job, I think was his example. Everyone believes that because we've been taught that. So trying to unteach someone and say that's not right is difficult to do because we've been drinking that truth so much. To tell us it's wrong is hard to do.
Okay.
And it's kind of chicken and eggs.
Just to pronounce some of the words for you: diligent, diligent, preoccupied, preoccupied, mutilate, mutilate, draft, written in stone. Written in stone means you cannot change it. Once you say it, once you write it, it cannot change. So we say, is that written in stone, or can I negotiate? Can we come to a different deal? No, it's firm. It's written in stone. It cannot be changed. That comes from the Ten Commandments in the Christian Bible. The Ten Commandments were carved in stone. So you couldn't change them and make your own. You had to use those 10. Paralysis, paralysis. If you're paralyzed, you cannot move, you are suffering from paralysis. Liberation, eternity, eternity, escalation, escalation, affluent, affluent. Some people might pronounce it affluent, affluent, but I pronounce it affluent, rich, a lot of money. Infuriating, infuriating. Fury is extreme anger. So infuriating means it makes you extremely angry. Redistribution, redistribution. You redistribute to get redistribution. Misery. Misery, the adjective is miserable. Miserable, misery. We have an idiom, misery loves company. What do you think that means?
Misery loves company. We have to think about it.
It is easier to, to pity yourself when there is an onlooker, so to say. So when you are alone, well, no point in feeling sorry for yourself.
If you're miserable, you feel depressed. But if two other people are also miserable, and you get together and you talk about each other's misery, you feel better, because I'm not the only one. At least other people are miserable too. So we say miserable, misery loves company means you feel better if you know that other people are also miserable.
Okay.
So good list, many new words for me. I don't know how for others. And totally new idiom, deeply embedded in the water supply. Should use it one day. So our time is almost done, and we have a I don't know. We have a warning, or not warning. Teacher Lee, what is the best word here? We have an announcement that next classes will be made by Gerard, and please join us next week.
Okay, Gerard will facilitate or lead meeting.
And propose the subject, the topic.
Okay, and yes, Leila?
Gerard, choose a romantic subject.
I already chosen my topic.
What have you chosen?
Is related how to make our habits.
Okay.
For people, procrastinators.
Leila, but we ask you to take this on next week and choose a romantic topic, and maybe someone will.
Has Diane chosen already?
No, not yet. I'm just.
Diane.
Oh.
Last week you, and the following week I will. Okay, because in 2 weeks' time I'm going to finish my teaching staff.
Okay.
Is it a deal, my friend?
Yes. It's worked perfectly, because it's what we liked. It's what we want that everyone have a chance to participate in it, to make a class, to speak more.
Yeah. My only concern is that sometimes Google Hangouts, do not work good for me. So that's why I'm not sure, but probably it will work.
Yes.
We'll
And
see.
Marianne, if something happens, we will write to each other, okay?
and
Okay,
yes,
sure.
if anyone have a technical problems, please write directly to me. I will help with anything.
Great.
Okay. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. I will
Thank
save
you.
our whiteboards and recording and share it on the loop. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
See
See
you.
you.